Hey there guys, gals, and non-binary pals, GM Potter here. Welcome back to my channel where I review books and bookish things. And it is October, so it is spooky book season. So this one I have, the book I have for you today is Where He Can't Find You by Darcy Coates. This is the first Darcy Coates book I've read. She came highly recommended from another YouTuber, Liv's Library here on YouTube, and she's like, you have to read her books, they're so good, they're so good, they're so good. So I looked at my library app, I found the Darcy Coates book that they had on audiobook, and I listened to it, and it was so good. Let's get into it. Where He Can't Find You is I guess it's YA horror, which I'm getting into that genre more and more of YA horror. I didn't know that was a genre. I guess I should have. But I'm usually reading adult horror, but YA horror is finding its way into my heart. This one came out in 2023, and the tagline is, "Don't walk alone or the Stitcher will find you. Don't stay out late or the Stitcher will take you. Don't close your eyes or the Stitcher will remake you." This one has multiple points of view across the Jackrabbit Club, which is essentially, think of it as the Losers Club from It. It's the same idea. It's a bunch of outcasts and misfits who band together to stay safe together. And our new girl in town, Jen. I have in my notes here, in the town of Doubtful, people are going missing, electronics act up, and the Stitcher will find you. Local teen Abby Ward is on a mission to get out with her mom and little sister, Hope. But when Hope goes missing, her world crumbles, and she'll stop at nothing to get her back. The teens suspect local recluse, Charles Vickers, but the Stitcher's only surviving victim says it's a monster, not a man. New girl Jen is along for the ride, and it's a race against time to find Hope before she's killed. Or worse, remade. This one is a solid 4 stars, 4 or 5 stars. That isn't to say I didn't love this book. I did. It's just, there were a couple things that knocked it down from a perfect book to just a really good book. And that is the pacing. It's a very breakneck pace. It's very, very fast in the pace that it goes at. And it almost feels rushed. I kind of wish it slowed down and savored things a little more. But that being said, the pace of the book fits with the theme of the story, in that it's a race against time, so yeah, the rushed feeling is there. I just wish we had a couple slower moments, like I don't know, I don't even know how to describe it. I just wish we had a few slower scenes to break it up, but even the slow scenes are very, very fast. The writing is good word choices, feels like how actual teenagers speak. The ending was satisfying. Like, I liked the ending. And this one, so many horror movies and horror novels that take place in modern times, you're like, well, why couldn't they just call each other? Why couldn't they just text? Isn't Google a thing? And this book lampshades that beautifully. That the Stitcher, all electronics, including flashlights and light bulbs and radios, start acting up when he's getting close to taking someone and stitching and remaking them. And it's really well done, that it's not just an excuse for why these things don't work, but it's actually a warning beacon that he's on his way and he's getting closer. So it's kind of cool. There is a lot with red thread. If you've read this book, you know how terrifying red thread can be. And it's kind of like she took the character from the first Hellboy movie, from the Hellboy comics, the guy with the clockbeat heart, with the clockwork heart, that can't really be killed, that his blood is turned to sand, except that this one has to replace his flesh with living flesh, and he has to keep sewing in and replacing parts. And one of the things that keeps us from being 5 stars is that with this, you end up with my grandfather's axe paradox, that I've replaced the handle, I've replaced the blade, is it still my grandfather's axe? And it's like, well, not really. I mean, yes, but no. Mostly no. He's replaced every part of himself with something else, and he can use the parts to mimic voices and make you think that you're hearing other people. There were places that felt borrowed. I will definitely want to read more Darcy Coates, because this one was really good. It's just, I don't know if this was her first book, or if this was one of the books that, I just don't know. There's a lot that I don't know about the author and about her writing, but it felt a little borrowed in places, and that kind of made me a little bit sad, because I was hoping for something a little bit more original. And that's a large part of why it's 4 stars instead of 5 stars. It is still very good. It's very good for YA horror. I think I liked Perfect Girl better as far as YA horror goes, but this one was still really good. So, have you read any Darcy Coates? Did I start with the wrong one? Is there one that's better that I should be reading? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Stay spooky. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.